Hey, you guys. I am back again with another, hopefully, quick message. Um, while I was getting ready for bed, God reminded me of a word that He dropped in my spirit a while ago, but He dropped it back in my spirit again today. Um, it's time for you to release some things, some people, places, and things that no longer serve you. Sometimes we can cause our own spiritual warfare to come upon ourselves due to us being disobedient and not releasing the things that God has told us to release. Um, and um, we'll go through a cycle of going through different types of warfares and demonic attacks because we are not being obedient and releasing those people, places, and things that God has told you to release. Um, the example that God gave me was Pharaoh. God told Pharaoh to let the people go, to let the Israelites go, to let his people go. And God sent multiple different plagues um, to torment Pharaoh because he wasn't obedient, to torment the Egyptians because he was not obedient. He didn't want to let the people go. So when we are disobedient to God, not letting people, places, and things go when He tell us to let people, places, and things go, we cause our own warfare. We cause judgment to come upon ourselves because of disobedience. Again, go to chapter Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 1 through 14 talks about the blessings of being obedient, and then 15 to the end of that chapter talks about the curses of being disobedient. So causes we can cause some of these curses or plagues or sickness and diseases, um, warfare to come upon ourselves when we're not being obedient, and releasing the things that God has told us to release. I'll give an example for myself. Um, Over a year ago, or a year or 2 years ago, God had told me to release someone, an ex that I was seeing. Um, and at first I didn't like want to. I'm like, well, we're just friends. But God was like, you need to release this person. And the whole entire time I was attached to this particular person, I was stagnant. Um, Not realizing the spirits that was attached to this person that was attacking me. This particular person had the spirit of the python spirit attached to him, and he had the spirit of a leech, pretty much draining all of my energy. Um, he will start arguments um, to put me down and would kind of try to like throw me off for like 2 weeks. Like if we would get into a big major argument, it would throw me off for 2 weeks. It was just like I just wasn't myself. And like I said, I was stagnant. I wasn't at peace. I was always stressed out because of him and his drama that he had going on. And when God finally told me to release that person, and I was finally obedient and I released that person, when God actually exposed to me the type of spirits that I was dealing with within that person, because we got to understand it's not the person, it's the spirit that dwells within the person. And then I actually talked to him and I confronted the spirit, and that spirit manifested and it told me exactly everything that they were doing to me. Like it just was shocking because everything I told God that He was doing whenever God gave me a revelation, whenever I confronted Him and confronted that spirit that was in Him, it came that spirit manifested and was like, yeah, like was bold with it. And God was like, that's why I was telling you to release this person. So whenever I released them, it was like, no lie, God catapulted me. I began to take off in so many areas of my life that I was stagnant in because I released that person. And mind you, when we hold on to people, places, and things that causes us to be stressed out, and God is telling us to release, that's where the anxiety comes in at. That's where the depression comes. Sometimes that's where the PTSD come in, and sometimes because we're being disobedient and not releasing things that God is telling us to release. So, if God has told you to release anything in this hour, release it. I told you we are in the season of ER. This is the healing season. I promise you, your healing is probably attached to you being obedient about releasing something. And God is going to give you divine instructions about what you need to release or reconfirm against. I always take these messages that God give me back and confirm. But when we hold on to things that we are not supposed to hold on to, um, especially if it's demonic and we don't realize that it's demonic, it can cause us to be sick in our bodies. It can cause us to be stressed out. And then, like stress, when we're stressed out, it can cause us to be stress and like different types of like anxiety and depression. It releases chemicals within our bodies that can lead to cancers and other sicknesses and diseases. And God doesn't want that for you. By his stripes you are healed. But I'm telling you, if God is telling you to release someone, release them. I definitely feel in my spirit that God is telling you to release this person. Because earlier too, God was saying how this person deals in witchcraft and they're doing things to your food. Um, the more you're eating their food, it's like the more you are getting pulled into their spells that they're doing on you, and eventually it's making you sick, and you're trying to figure out why are you all of a sudden fine, but now you're sick. All of a sudden out of nowhere, like a couple of days you're fine, and then now you're sick. Well, it's because you are eating from someone um, that is basically poisoning your system with witchcraft. So be mindful of that too, you guys. I put out a message before, especially to the men. Be careful where you eat women too, because men are warlocks and they do it too to females. Um, but if God is telling you release this person, be obedient and release it. Um, or person, place, or thing, be obedient. You don't want to be a pharaoh, okay? I'm telling you, you don't want to be a pharaoh in this hour. But I just wanted to come and share. It's time for you to release. If God is telling you to release, go ahead and release because it is time for you to release. All right, you guys, I love you, and I will talk to you all later.